you had in the last 15 years? Is that how it works? Okay. What they need is...
Welcome to the Chiro Business Mojo Podcast, where we deconstruct the methods, marketing, and mindset of successful business people and chiropractors from around the world. And now your host, Dr. Richard Day.
Calls me and says, hey, Tory, I think I need to do some advertising. Will you?
Yes, I am Dr. Richard Day, and this is the Chiro Business Mojo Podcast. Well, I've got a very special interview today. This one actually ran long. We're going to split it into two parts. So today is part one. Make sure you check out tomorrow for part two with Dr. Tory Robson.
Wham, full.
Dr. Tory Robson earned his bachelor's degree from Montana State University while completing a 6-year term in the U.S. Air Force. After being turned on to the power of chiropractic, he attended Northwestern Health Sciences and graduated in 1995. Dr. Robson has personally designed and owned 5 chiropractic practices, plus designed and revamped countless others for DCs all over the country. Due to demand from the profession, Robson created WINNERSEDGE Chiropractic Consulting that teaches innovative and time-tested systems. Every week, he consults with as many as 100 DCs from all over the country and helps them create practices and personal lives of the highest level in the profession today. Dr. Robson has authored 31 CDs and DVDs on chiropractic success, published 450 videos, teaches 13 events a year, and has over 5,000 calls with chiropractors annually. He also practices as a chiropractor at his clinic, Pro Spine Health and Injury Center in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Welcome, Dr. Tory Robson.
That would be me. Appreciate you having me.
Thanks so much for checking in with us today, and feel free to jump in and fill in any gaps that I may have glossed over in that bio.
First. Well, that was quite a nice introduction. Number 2 is the current patients coming in. There it is, second.
Well, in a nutshell,
and then, of course, we go to the immediate area around our office. So it's who's already been in, who's there now, and who do you want to get in that's very, very close and be very easy for them to come in. Now, another thing that's important to note here,
and I began to realize that the seminars I was going to, that much of what I was doing was advanced beyond
if you Google it, it might be
what I was learning at that point.
Okay?
And I had
but yet in 20 years, he's had over
chiropractic
6,000 new
students coming to me
patients
all the time, saying, hey, why are you the way you are? Why is your practice the way it is? Why are you doing so well?
Through an area.
They would always want me to show them this or hang around my office.
It is an endless flow of people in and through your area. People say, how many times can I walk into that business?
WINNERSEDGE
walk in there every month forever.
Because
different people, different faces, different action,
things
different
I had learned out there, programs I was a part of.
So the 5-minute area around your office, that is it. You must absolutely dominate it. One of our programs will have you send a promotional piece to all of those people. You walk into all of those people.
Yes, it's new
we just had a guy starting out in Practice, Michigan.
Yes, it's the
went and did that, had
practice
6 new ones on the Monday and Tuesday, like 4 days later.
The lives of the people in your community and beyond and all that.
He's on his way. All he did.
It's the financial status of the chiropractor, the future of the chiropractor, the legacy of the chiropractor, and all these other things too. So I wanted to create the most complete.
Oh, is that how it works now? We just hire a marketing person?
Chiropractor.
What are you going to teach a marketing person to do?
Organization.
Are you really an expert? You can teach a marketing person to do
exactly what we have.
How much more do you have to collect to just pay for the marketing person?
Experience, because
see,
you come
the deal is
with
this.
So many chiropractors.
If you're not willing to go out and get the people yourself and lead from the front, hear me, Tory Robson, the WINNERSEDGE chiropractor, the chiropractic Doberman,
chiropractors every week.
Whatever, right?
I have about
all my scars
2,000 minutes on the phone with chiropractors.
I turn my back to people. Take my shirt off.
Probably true that nobody individually talks to more chiropractors every week than I do.
I'm the one out front.
And so I have my finger on the pulse of
I'm not going to hide behind
and on the pulse of the profession,
behind whoever,
especially including the events I do and these other things.
Gets the job done. Now, if
the biggest things that are keeping chiropractors I think I need to hire somebody else successful,
and it's time for some humbling. And we got some jiu-jitsu classes here that will deliver some immediate humbling. Or we just go to the WINNERSEDGE DC Boot Camp Extreme, the most physically and mentally difficult event that has ever existed in chiropractic. And we will humble you in about the first 30 minutes of you walking in the door.
One of my patients is a big engineer.
He hires other engineers. All right. He hires these engineers to go out and starts to set them how great you are and save their lives, contracting project. And they come to him about an hour later and say, well, what's the answer? The grandfather of fitness in the United States. It's like, hold on a second here.
Okay.
You're the engineer. You're supposed to figure this out. That's what we're paying you to do. For various reasons. It's a great story to look at. Chiropractors should watch every video on YouTube from Jack Lane. Guy's name, but he just would walk around and walk door to door and knock on the door and say, you're out of shape. I want you in my gym at 5 o'clock. And if you're not there, I'm going to come back and get you. I'm not going to let you live like this
Someone
will be
anymore.
sitting as an associate in an office, and they'll call me and they'll want to be starting a new office. They called me the right guy. And they'll say, how big is an adjusting room? I go, I don't know. How big is the one you're sitting in? You love chiropractic, and you love the philosophy that it stands on. So in other words, what we have here is there's a mental laziness. How would you not want to training laziness? People, all right, as it relates to technique, as it relates to philosophy, and as it relates to frustrates me because of the consulting demand I have on my life, the calls, the events, and all this, that I can't be to what's called the Swiss full-on chiropractic powerhouse that I always have been. If not, I'm still able to see a handful of people during the course of the week, so I can still stay sharp and I still love to practice. And if you graduate from there, but the thing is, you have your internship with here's a guy like me in the world, I have no problem then you will be a graduate and say, you know what, I drive by this place all the time, your ticket, and I just wanted to drop off a couple cards here. I'm right down the road. If you're lucky enough to get in, guess what you get to do for the first year? You always call me first. You are special. Vegetables and fruits. Right down from my office. But when do we get to start to make the cool stuff? You can let people know that you care. Let's just start with peeling vegetables because see, here's what I know. If I can get them to see me, and in chiropractic and in many other things, everybody wants the trophy. They want the finished product. They want. If they walk in my office and I get my hands on them, they have to be willing to do all the grinding. So whatever I can do, difficult work as it relates to your philosophy, as it relates to your technique, as it relates to your procedures and disciplines and physical training and mental training and all of that, to do that, to be able to become the man, become the woman that's capable of achieving those levels of success in practice, financially, and in life and with your family.
Let me ask you this.
So there's the enemies. Laziness, weakness, cheapness. And if those persist, it moves on to stupidness. So there's the four enemies of the chiropractor: being lazy, weak, cheap, or stupid.
In my life.
And this is what we must eliminate. And when you really analyze this, you'll see how I'm going to be a little bit argumentative just for fun here, because we're friends and we can talk like this.
Is there anything you're identifying or have identified as a cause of this? Just human nature in general?
I think it's society now. I think the chiropractic colleges and they ask me how much it costs. Potency in teaching chiropractic and preparing people, so that starts it all. And all the outside influences. When I was in chiropractic college, nobody had a computer, nobody had a cell phone. It was only philosophy, it was only technique, and that's what all the conversations were about. That's what everybody was spending time doing. But now, if you take all the time a person spends on a cell phone and all the time on a computer, well, all of that time, what does it cost that people are spending doing that now? I spent reading and studying and getting to be a better chiropractor.
I have to give this lesson.
So there's all these things competing for the chiropractor's time that make it more difficult for the chiropractor to really put in the time, effort, energy, and work to get the job done. And plus, I think we have a society now where, and you ask me, we don't want anybody to work too hard, we don't want anybody to feel bad, and we got soccer games where we're not going to keep score, way more going to get participation trophies, and so we sort of breed and that's what anybody who's looking for a consultant should do. You call up and say, Joe consultant, Susie consultant, if I hire you, appreciation. In other words, people do nothing and they're being appreciated for it. Mm-hmm. And in the real world, it doesn't work that way. You ask the cost. And when you get to the real world and the money, the borrowed money ends. So, and here, chiropractor has to sit there and follow me along here. Yes, it's our events. There's a point in life where the chiropractor all of this stuff has to be able can range anywhere to generate enough on their own personally to pay their own way in life. Notice we have our payments. The borrowed money ends. Mommy and daddy's money ends. Whatever ends. And now you have a saying here. If you want to become wealthy, your skill, talent, and ability, and the work you've put into yourself, now have to be able to do something and offer something to the public in the marketplace that's good enough that people will pay you, and you will earn enough then to be able to completely pay your way through life. And that is step one for the chiropractor, to be able to pay your own way in life and not be a burden or be living off of anybody else. Rapid fire for our debt elimination process, and the number of chiropractors now that are struggling with that is astronomical. And that is something that student loan interest accrues daily that the new chiropractor gets into the. So why would you pay at the end of the month and pay all the interest? The speed that the money gets there and takes bites out of the principal lowers then the amount of interest that accrues for the next day.
How much did your military
so a genius concept we have here at Winner's Edge, and it should be on Oprah, but we're too busy to worry about things like that. The military experience for me, just what a person will say men and women student loan interest with me is more than double what they did. What a coaching would cost with me in any department, let's say just on the money they're going to save, because they have unlimited money for training from using unlimited cutting-edge money for the latest equipment, debt elimination. You're able to be around unbelievably highly trained payment every single day. And if you hang around pilots and you kind of think like left on my student loans in 8 months, and I say that around my office all the time, I realized how much the insurance was. I'll say to a CA if they make a mistake, well, it's a good thing you're not a pilot, because if you were, we don't need debt is much greater, which is why the system must be used more than ever now. So we do things weekly, and so that's why we have the clients pay weekly, because we want them having the proper backup, easy, and all of that, and we want to remove any charge that's impressive and any sort of loading of a bunch of payments that people have on the military training. For me, there's a lot more valuable that I was exposed to. We recommend real high caliber work, but to answer your question, had many around 150 to 327 weeks, depending on the intensity that they're looking for. If this doesn't work right, guess what? You die. If you don't get the jet engine fixed right, guess what? The pilot gets to go up there and die.
Certainly, you've been very successful, and we all learn a lot from success. We can learn even more from failure.
Seen outside of that
share with us a failure you've had, putting it in life, and what you've learned from it. Clarify.
Well, there was this flight attendant
the
once.
The importance of things, and there are no second chances.
That's a joke. You just want to be at your best. I just didn't do that one right. You want to be physically and mentally superior to any person that walks in the door. A little truth on that. So that then you are able to deliver your best for them. It's because of her flight attendant schedule. I work out physically and train as hard as I do because I never be at my physical best. She was a special person, and for all of my clients and all my chiropractic I look back and I go, I also will do my reading, I'll do my mental training, I'll do this, my goals, I'm sure keeping my mind clear, my faith in order, and my understanding of my eternal future, so I can be at my mental best. I have had success for you today, for all of my clients, for all of my patients. Now, I want them to adopt that same philosophy where we have an opportunity. You've been given a mind, you've been given a physical body. Let's train it to its physical and mental successful. So then, as you go through life, refer me to an accountant better able to handle everybody in the area uses. She's incredible. But if you're physically weak and you're mentally weak, the evil forces that are out there in the business world and in the chiropractic world and in life in general will overtake I get a thing in the mail. Can't let that happen from the IRS that says, hey, be sharp and be at our best. Would you please send us the receipts for all of these marketing expenses we see on your return?
What are some specific skills that you teach for individuals, teams, and corporations?
I produce them and I send them in. The number one starting point is this. All they were doing was trying to see if I had the money to pay for all those marketing expenses and to get it in the number that was on my tax return for my income. How can I graduate from chiropractic college? But I didn't know that. Have my own clinic I made an emergency 90 days to be gracefully try to learn more about this. But guess what? 100 plus patients a week. I get another thing in 90 days from the IRS saying, how can I do that? $187,000. See the clarity of that question? Taxes and penalties. How can I grow my practice? Oh, by the way, from 150 visits a week to over 200 visits a week. What must I learn? What must I add? We want it right now. What must I eliminate? What must I go to get a hold of my genius accountant instrument ready for change my calls, and the change required to get to that new level of 200 or more and visits every week. Basically vanishes on me. See the clarity. So we start. I have an entire process here. It's a 12-phase thing. We call it our practice transformation guide. Very fortunately, at the time, I knew a person who was an accountant for basically chiropractors exclusively. He had been urging me to work with him instead because he kind of figured something wasn't right. Because he would kind of never hear me talk about how much I was paying in tax or how much I was collecting. Once you he'd say, I think I need to take a... And I said, oh, no, everything's going great. Thing you do, I call him in an emergency state. Will be moving you toward those goals. For me to even look at this, you're going to have to pay me this big chunk of money up front as a retainer. As I say, what are your personal bests and what are your goals? I signed a power of attorney. I see someone that doesn't know what their goals are, they're shoddy, or they're just foolish numbers. A couple days to respond. He took over, redid all of my taxes for 3 years, every single month. Got them off my back. I had to get a line of credit to pay them off $230,000. Very fortunate I had the horsepower to do that. Our body is heat-seeking. Our body is... I learned a lesson that I had to learn. The human being is moving through powerful as I am now in the chiropractic consulting world. We must program how we handle payroll, how we handle taxes, and we have to do it just the numbers. That is probably and in practice, it's easy. We can have collection numbers. We can have new patient numbers. We can have visit numbers and get those programmed in accurately in the past. Then, all right, all of our actions from that point forward. So that is an example. Those, and then we have the steps that come into play after that. Such a thing. So and by the way, as many people out there know who are listening. When you have this happen, And some people will say, okay, goals, what's next?
Something like that, you owe $187,000.
Let's stick with goals
by the way,
for a little while until we make sure we have them
for
clear.
the afternoon.
The goals for a chiropractor are exactly the same as the floor plan.
Or how about this?
You're on your way. They don't just go out and start hacking up a new house.
Clients are unbelievable.
There's a clear plan, every detail, every light
on his way to his office after lunch,
all the angles, all the dimensions.
And he gets a text message that says,
and they build it.
I'm pregnant.
And then there's the chiropractor going out in practice.
And he doesn't like the girl that much.
But we break it down to the year, to the month, to the week. I've got a system for this. I've got all the forms for this. We make it very easy. There's videos we have to show people how to do it.
And once those are set, complaints that there were because you got turned in by the asshole chiropractor 4 blocks away who's mad because he thinks you're stealing all the new ones in the area.
And we move on
and on and on and on. So we have fiery darts. We have challenges. But here's the thing.
As the late great Stephen Covey said in his
all of these
7 Habits of Highly Successful People. I think that's really what you're getting.
Listen to me.
Yes, that's well said.
Everything causes my practice to grow.
Like I just
referred to.
Goals are
everything causes my practice to grow.
Oh,
I just had to go in and get something done on my foot because I had a water ski injury. It's going to cause your practice to grow.
I just got audited by the IRS.
It's going to cause your practice to grow.
There's a lot of topics.
Okay? Whatever it is, it's going to cause your practice to grow. Because in order to grow, you have to go through the furnace to some degree to be forged into the man and into the woman who can handle that level. The chiropractor wants to collect $1 million a year. Do you realize the chiropractor on their own, no associates, It's not we're collecting $850 a year and there's 3 of us members. One chiropractor on a $1 million a year. Do you have any idea how forged and how tempered that man or woman is?
How do you have
the person that they've become to be able to be watched by people and the pain that they've gone through? It's like the famous story of the lady playing the piano.
This is not.
She gives a great recital.
Easy thing
afterwards,
to do
there's a little wine and cheese thing going on.
So
another lady walks up to the pianist
and
says,
format.
I'd give anything to play like you.
We have many CD and DVD sets.
What do you mean? Yeah, I would. No, you wouldn't. Sure, you want to stand here and everybody come up and clap for you and gawk over you, but you don't want to sit there for the last 37 years and play until your fingers are bleeding while all your friends are outside having fun. You don't want to do that.
What about your footwork?
And so we have to go through the fire. Be willing to go through the fire. I have volunteered to do difficult things in order to make myself mentally and physically tougher so that I can be more successful myself and help other people be more successful. So even though there may have been some failures in the past, remember this.
Tableside manner
always causes your practice to grow. It's just a
Sean Connery is arguably the best James Bond of all time. They brought Sean Connery in, of all the people that were potential choices for the James Bond role.
There's a secret to being successful?
And of course the James Bond series is one of the highest grossing movie series of all time.
I think it's a couple different
Star Wars and whatnot. But anyway, they hired him.
Like people ask me, why are you so motivated? What drives you?
The most successful chiropractor is the one
I don't know.
Moves.
It's like asking a guy who can high jump 7 feet. How do you do that? I don't know. I just walk their eyes. I just jump over the thing. They don't know.
Their heart rate.
I do it because I feel like I have to.
Creating an office visit
because I feel like I have to. What are you so motivated?
If you have an office visit that people love,
I have to.
They will return for it.
So it boils down to this.
It's that simple.
You really have to be on a mission.
25 years in practice, someone calls and says, I want to do this new marketing ad.
Finally.
And I go,
to the mission.
I realize in that town,
your lifetime
have 100
very
people waiting for you every Monday
and you can't do 100 different things. So you might as well just lock on to the mission. And the mission is to help as many people as you can with chiropractic care. That's the mission. And once you finally give in to that and quit rebelling it or anything, you're going to be a lot better off. Just finally give in and say, my purpose is to help as many people as I can.
If I just show them how to get their typical patient to just stay another 8 or 10 more visits in the future, that's a $50,000 to $150,000 collection increase.
It works like this also.
Just PVA.
Like my gal in my life.
Show them how to do it.
She knew when she decided to be with me,
there's one sentence we teach. You say to a patient,
because it's a one-way road.
They will tell you how often they want to come in and see you.
Here in my life, there's one option and one option only.
And we got like 50 other techniques.
So people either are in with that,
so yes,
they'll get sort of ran over
and of course, new patient acquisition. I got asked one time, hey, if you came to my practice here, what would you do to grow, say,
because if you have
visits in a day?
Then that will make
good
you
question.
So
12 discs later, there it is. It's every single thing I would do to go from 0 to 100 patient visits a day.
See, many chiropractors out there have gotten okay with losing.
I even have a video in there of me driving from my office to my house
as new patients go,
showing all the different chiropractic care opportunities that every other chiropractor drives by if you're not paying your student loans off in an accelerated chiropractor sees an open house on a weekend for if you're not saving money, well, you're losing. You automatically go in. And if you're not physically training, well, then you're losing with your own physical fitness. See, you have to hate losing.
Talk to somebody.
See, I hate
and the
losing.
Real estate agents
and I really
love
the shakers
and movers in the town.
And since I love to win and I hate to lose,
going into
then I'm going to do the things to keep from losing.
Visiting with
and I'm going to do the things to get myself to win. And it could even be this. You could even look back at the past and you could look and see what you're mad about from the past. See, I'm pissed off from the past because I stood on the dock while the rich kids were out on the boat on the river and we didn't have a boat because we couldn't afford one. I'm so mad about that.
These days.
And of course, it's funny now because now on the big lake here,
I really enjoy showing people how to do it. So thank you for addressing the variety of CD and DVD sets.
I have the coolest boat.
And we could spend a lot of time on that.
And everybody knows it. Oh, there goes the chiropractor.
I want to make sure we have completeness. I want to have every
1,200 horsepower
important practice success-based covered.
But that's just one of those things. So what motivates you toward the mission? In other words, what gives you the burn and the charge? And what vector?
Jump to some questions I get a lot from other chiropractors.
And then should they just willing to do the work and put in the time to read the books, to go to the seminars, listen to the CDs, hang around the more successful people, and just decide to win. See, here it is. And maybe this is a good sort of an
expert with
point to wrap things up with this. See, I wasn't ever going to play quarterback for USC.
Is an expert with any insurances they may choose to accept.
I wasn't going to be the UFC welterweight champion. I just wasn't built, maybe physically with the mindset to be at that level in those particular disciplines. And maybe you as a female, you weren't going to win a gold medal in the Olympics in gymnastics or whatever it is that may be of interest to you. But here's the thing in chiropractic.
Expert at handling those people.
You can
a person's a senior and they've got Medicare. You should absolutely be an expert at helping those people. If you're out to really serve your community,
you can absolutely
unless you're just trying to impose what you think you want on your community versus serving your community.
And all you got to do,
and of course, if someone comes in and they have some sort of regular insurance, you can determine whether to be in or out network with that company.
Listen to the CDs, read the books, stay the course,
I have been in network with one or two in the past.
Realize that all of those things are going to cause you to grow.
We make that determination. We dump the ones that are no good, and you may stay in with some that are still okay. And then, of course, we have a cash person that comes in, and we have to be experts with that. And when those 5 people walk in the door, you only do 5 different things. They're either a new patient, they're a report, they're an office visit, they're an office visit.
Ask me to go boating, of course.
Reevaluation, or they're an office visit.
Will join and say, "I'll join."
Re-sign process to have them continue care.
And the answer
is
always
all 5,
yes.
And experts at the 5 plays. And when you have that down, well,
the easiest way to get hold of me,
there will be a time for the all-cash practice. Some people have been forced into that, and there are many successful,
we have a cool little sheet we have people fill out. Just say, just tell me where you're at in practice. What are you seeing? What are you doing? What are some of your goals? We have a very simple thing. It's just a single sheet. Even on my website,
depends on the state,
a brief little eval, just so I can see where you're at.
And many other factors.
I'll be happy to visit with you about your practice, about your biggest practice concerns. Boil down to this. What is the number one thing that's bugging you the most in practice or holding you back?
And if they have the right funding and the right location and all those other sorts of things, they could go all cash in the beginning.
What is the main thing bothering you the most about
if you have a
practice
chiropractor
that you want to have an answer to?
Goes back to their home
feel
area.
Free to call
where they're from, where their wife is from, both their families are from,
if you want to
learn
more about our
stuff, lots of brothers and sisters, lots of aunts, uncles, and cousins. And that chiropractor can have 100 new patients in the first month.
Care.
Well, they could probably get away with
my members only. I normally don't let any outsiders in any event. I am
here
to
have a chiropractor
my
that's
members
not as
to the highest level in the
not
profession,
as well trained, not as this, and they
to
decide
become a member.
to
You have to know a member in my group, or you have to be let in by me.
And they don't know a soul.
Okay, we're not like a lot of other groups where you go and check it out and see if you like it. No. I'm going to visit with you and see if I like you. See if I should let you in my group.
And if you have a Medicare person standing there, and they say, "Do you take my Medicare?" and you say no, and that person walks away, you absolutely need that person.
We're a little bit different how we do that.
So it depends on the scenario for the chiropractor. But we are heading in chiropractic to a very exciting time. We call it this. It's getting so bad with insurance. It's actually getting good.
So
the biggest practices have yet to be built.
With anybody,
the most fulfilling practices, I'm telling you, are on their way. So regardless of the scenario in the state with the chiropractor, we engineer the solution that's best for them then.
Thank you for sharing such powerful and important information with us here today. I'm sitting here just getting charged up, listening to marketing. Are you seeing ideas? What should I be doing in terms of marketing? What works the best? I've written them down. I'm going to start implementing them, and I hope some of our
number
listeners
one
really
marketing
connect
tool
with what
for
you're
the
talking about and
chiropractor
implement them in their
is
practices
printing out
and in
their
their lives.
current
Thank you
patient
once
list.
again for being on the show.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine. I wish we had 8 hours to talk, but we don't. So we wish everybody the best
that you'd like to see again.
And I can't thank you enough, and I look forward to doing it again. and you write all of those names on a piece of paper, which we call the recall list.
Look at this. Now just think about this.
And every single week at your cool 30-minute Winner's Edge team meeting,
say, "Hey, Joe Chiropractor,"
you read those names out loud.
You have this thing
and you think about those people's faces walking in the door.
And on it,
that is all the world's number one marketing tool for the chiropractor and make must be in place and be automated.
And you could send it to someone instantly.
She hands me the recall list. I read all the names out loud. Jerry Johnson, Bill Johnson,
Susie Smith. Do you think they would look at that like it was the greatest
coming in, and I picture a smile on their face, and I picture their results, and I picture them referring people.
But here we look at it today.
I picture that very quickly in that instant when you read that name.
You ready? That's number one. Made a brochure.
Number two, we move out from there.
The answer is none.
Then it's, as people are coming in,
used to be way back when
we're always talking about referrals and making referral-type statements, referral-type comments, referral-type points.
The chiropractor themselves made a decent brochure.
And we do this in a very high-powered way. And we don't have enough time to go into it too detail, but I'll tell you like this.
And we have these.
You have a patient to make a great adjustment.
1, 2, 3 room.
And you tap them on the shoulder and you say, I know that's why everybody loves to be here every week, John.
In the community type of chiropractic office.
Be here every week, John.
I went to college to be an architect. A lot of people don't know that. So my office designs.
Or you make great adjustments and you say, I know, it makes you want to go back and tell all your friends to come in, Sherry.
When you see it.
See, I'm giving her a command.
But anyway.
Tell all your friends to come in, Sherry.
Along with that.
So we have a system of office visit talk, which is another CD set, where we teach the language that you use with your patients to basically program them to continue care, to refer people in and to make all their visits, because that's our job.
So
the more visits a person can get, the better. The more people they refer, the better.
And of course, I have a video on how to make
the longer
videos
they stay under care, the better.
Because you can even have it like this. The new patient comes in, and then when they leave, you send them an email that says, "Sherry, it was so great to have you in.
That has,
doctor wants you to watch this quick video. It's going to help you save a lot of time.
Here's why I'm great.
Save you a lot of money.
Here's what you get when you come in.
We have people that do
Here's a nice picture of my office. Here's a map to the office. Here's a great picture of me.
Here we have,
by the way, on the back side, look at all these testimonials of me with patients. The male patient, the female patient, the senior patient, the kid patient. All these varieties of patients.
What we have
one sheet of paper
out there. And so we want to help motivate people. And you see, I have charge and drive
5 minutes of your office.
That how
many people in chiropractic have people that are a block away with a blistering headache corner, and they look over me and go,
God, he thinks I can win, and it makes them.
And that chiropractor calls me up and says, "Hey, I'm looking to place this insert in the paper. I need to place an ad."
This and include it in the show.
I go,
is that okay?
Why don't you just walk across the street to that dental office? Walk in and say, "I'm right across the street.
I don't want to take.
I drive by your place every day. Here's my information. I've got a couple gift certificates for you."
Right?
Anybody here has anything bugging them, you call me. I'll take special care of you, okay?
I just came out called Money Chiropractic and You.
Physical action, moving through space in a situation where you could be embarrassed.
Anybody who's a chiropractor,
I will give my new
so it's your existing list of patients.
It's your current patients coming in and talking referrals and talking about them and their case and their friends and family.
With everything you ask,
it's the immediate 5-minute area around your office. There, it's those 3 things. And if you do those 3 things well, you really don't need anything else. But yes, if we can have screenings, yes, we can have talks.
But any
yes, we can do other promotional sorts of things.
You may want
but if those 3 aren't already good, all those other ones are a waste.
On your behalf as a gift.
Doc, so there you go. You're dropping value bombs galore here. I'm getting excited just listening to you because your information, what I love about what you're talking about is it's either low or no cost.
You love it, man. Hopefully we have a chance to meet you sometime.
We're making
if you ever want me back on,
speaking the names out loud. Definitely will take you cost you anything but your time. But what a powerful way to bring those people in.
Thanks for listening to the Chiro Business Mojo podcast at www.chirobusinessmojo.com.